Alright, I apologize folks, that last video cut off on me right when I was installing the AC compressor, so this video will pick up from there. So we've got the AC compressor installed, and you're going to use a 13mm socket or wrench, and you're going to have 4 bolts, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is for installation and uninstallation. So you're just going to get these bolts out. Now these bottom bolts, because of the distance between, as you can see here, and the frame, these bottom bolts will not pull all the way out. They will pull out enough so that you can pull the compressor down, but they're not going to pull all the way out. You're also going to want to install those first and tighten them first. And you're going to want to go ahead and put them inside of the compressor here, just right up to here, to get them installed, so you can get your compressor up in here and then get your 2 bottom bolts started, and then get your top bolts. Then of course you want to get your back connector reconnected, and then once you're done with all that, and if you remember in the last video, we talked about how if you're going to change a compressor, you also need to change the dryer out. So we've also got a new dryer, and now you're going to use a 5/8 quick disconnect coupler in order to get this off of the 2007 Dodge Ram 2500 with the 6.7 liter Cummins diesel engine, turbo diesel engine in it. So again, a 5/8 coupler, and you're really going to want to get the spring-loaded coupler that grabs. You saw an example of it in the first video in order to get these off, and you're going to have to fight it. Sometimes they come right off and it's super easy. Sometimes they don't at all. Now, since I try to cater to the do-it-yourselfer, I do have a really nice professional vacuum pump that I have access to through a mentor of mine, but I went ahead and decided I'd go and check out this Harbor Freight. It's like $20. It's an air-operated vacuum pump, and we'll see if we can get 28 inches of mercury pulled. So I've got my gauges connected, and what you're going to want to do is go buy you a set of gauges. Again, you can go to Harbor Freight, 60 bucks. You've got your high side, you've got your low side, and all that other good stuff. It's even actually dummy proof for you right here. It says high pressure side. So, and also your high side and low side are going to be different sizes on R134. So I was still just a kiddo when R12 was being used, so I'm not too familiar with R12, but here you go. You're going to have a difference in your high side and low side, so you can't mess those up. Now then, we're going to go ahead and get the vacuum pump running and see if we can get this up to close to 30 inches of mercury on our gauge right here. Alright, now we're pulling a vacuum on it, and the reason for pulling a vacuum on the system is to go ahead and get any moisture, anything inside of that system out of there. A vacuum, it will also help you pull Freon and oil through the system. And we're pulling a pretty decent vacuum. We instantly went up, what are we at, 28, we're moving up to 29 inches in mercury. We're not at sea level here, we're above sea level, so that's pretty good. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to let this run for about an hour. I'd like to pull a vacuum, and I'd like to see that hold there for about an hour. Now, if you have a small air compressor, the air compressor that I'm using is 21 gallons, and so that seems to be working just fine. Anything smaller than a 21 gallon air compressor though, I don't think you're going to be able to hold it with this vacuum pump. So there you go. For the do-it-yourselfer, you can pick up this setup for less than $100 at Harbor Freight. So just to kind of recap on everything, the first step in the process was to go ahead and remove our serpentine belt. Now, I got a little ahead of myself on this one, and I removed it all the way. There's no reason that you really got to do that. You can just loosen it up and remove it off of the AC compressor. Then you're just going to go underneath here, and you're going to use a 13mm socket or wrench, and you're going to go ahead and loosen your top bolts first, get those all the way out, loosen these, pull them out to here, drop your compressor down, While you're doing that, you're also going to have a 10mm bolt right here for your AC line, and then you've got the electrical connection up top that you're going to have to get. And then go ahead and disconnect and reconnect your AC compressor. Then you're going to want to use a 5/8 quick disconnect coupler, so you can go ahead and get your dryer, filter, air dryer, whatever you want to call that. There's a few different names for it. You can go ahead and get that out with a quick disconnect, reconnect it all back up, and then go ahead and pull your vacuum. And you want your vacuum to be about 28, 29, 30 inches of mercury. And you're gonna wanna go ahead and hold that for about an hour. If you can go for a couple hours, great. I don't think this vacuum pump is gonna last any longer than 3 or 4 hours. If you have access to a professional, nice vacuum pump, and you have the time, it wouldn't even hurt to go ahead and let the vacuum run all night and recharge it the next day when it's hot out. So there's a few tips. You can see, that? That's all the junk coming out of that system. It's boiling all the water and everything out of there. So there you go, folks. This will be the end of the HVAC system replacement on a 2006-2007 Dodge Ram 2500 heavy duty. This is specifically with a 6.7 liter turbo diesel. Some of the steps and locations of the lines and stuff, it could be different with the 5.7 or other engines. Everything's pretty compact in there. So, well, folks, I really appreciate you coming and hanging out with me. Thank you for watching my videos and supporting me. Please like, subscribe, and share the knowledge. If you have any questions concerning any of this or any automotive needs, shoot me an email. Try to get my attention in the comments. I do my best to try to get back to you guys and answer your questions and help you out and all that other good stuff. So, all right, folks, well, this is Matthew, your friendly neighborhood technician. I am signing off.